Hallelujah and praise the Lord. Parliament is going to debate sacking Keir Starmer on the 6th of January 2025. It's just been announced.
Keir Starmer's time as Prime Minister is entering its most dangerous phase yet. The widely supported petition calling for a snap general election has surged past 2.8 million signatures, compelling Parliament to schedule a debate on January 6. Could this finally be the long-awaited step toward a much-needed election? Let's break down what these developments truly mean for the UK.
There's been a petition. Now, under the UK parliamentary rules, if 100,000 people sign a petition, that petition has to be debated on the floor of the Commons. This is a petition that says you must call a general election, and it's got 2.5 million signatures. I don't think we've ever seen a government start so poorly, have we?
The debate is taking place due to parliamentary rules triggered when petitions surpass 100,000 signatures. Such petitions are sent to the Backbench Business Committee, the body responsible for considering debates on issues of major public interest. This system, introduced during John Bercow's time as Speaker, guarantees that urgent concerns from the electorate can be raised in Parliament, creating a crucial link between public opinion and legislative action. Although the debate may not directly result in Starmer's removal or an immediate election, it does offer a powerful platform to highlight the rising anger over Labour's governance. MPs will delve into the public's frustrations, from failed policies and broken pledges to Starmer's increasingly criticised leadership. Many commentators argue that Starmer has endured the worst start of any UK Prime Minister in modern history. To make matters worse, he openly admits to breaking certain promises and shows no remorse for doing so. Here he is speaking with Beth Rigby of Sky News.
Here he is speaking to Beth Rigby of Sky News.
You said in that speech it's disrespectful for Sunak to say the economy turned the corner when taxes are higher. But isn't it also disrespectful when you promise people, for example, to raise income tax for the top 5% of earners, and then you ditch that when you get nearer to power? Now, there might be good reasons for that, but doesn't acknowledging that you have broken some of the promises you made go some way to fixing these trust issues that you have?
Well, I think it's
You've
really
just totally avoided that.
Let me take that head on, because there are a number of pledges I made when I was running for Labour leadership. Most of those are still in place. They're the building blocks of what we've now put in place.
Most of them are still in place. Most of them. Okay, maybe not all of them. Most of them. Complete and utter lies.
Most of them are still there. Most of them. Okay, perhaps not every single one. Most of them. Pure and absolute lies. Starmer's government has faced unrelenting criticism since its 2024 election win. Despite boasting of a landslide, the result was far less impressive than advertised. The victory came largely from historically low voter turnout, meaning many people stayed home. In reality, only 1 in 5 people across the UK actually voted Labour, hardly the strong backing of a majority.
I am delighted that on Tuesday of this week we went through the 100,000 number. I've led previous political parties. I led UKIP for many years, and the peak we got to then was 46,000. You might have noticed that in by-elections, weekly by-elections that take place for district, borough or county councils, we've now become active, and last week in Kent we won our first county council by-election, and we'll win another one between now and Christmas in a county not too far away from there. So we're taking that seriously.
Since then, Starmer's administration has been mired in scandals, from the winter fuel payment fiasco to clampdowns on free speech. These failures have pushed away vital voter groups, particularly in Northern England and among older voters who briefly returned to Labour after backing Boris Johnson in 2019. The 2.8 million signature petition has only magnified this discontent. Annunziata Rees-Mogg, sister of Jacob Rees-Mogg, recently revealed troubling findings for Labour. She overlaid a map of petition signatories with a map of the most marginal constituencies in the country. Marginal seats, where contests are closest, are the ones Labour must defend to remain in government. What she discovered was striking. The regions with the highest number of petition signatures closely aligned with these battleground seats. This suggests a large share of dissatisfied voters comes from the very areas that will decide the next election. Against this backdrop, Reform UK, under Nigel Farage, is picking up momentum. Polling now indicates Reform could double its MPs in a general election, a clear sign of the growing demand for alternatives to the established parties. Farage's plain-spoken style and fiery speeches are resonating with voters who feel ignored by the political class. Just recently, he addressed their surging support at a Reform UK press conference. Meanwhile, the Conservative Party is beginning to regain some ground in the polls, despite its internal divisions. Tory MPs are taking advantage of the moment, with Kemi Badenoch dismissing Starmer's responses as nonsense and attacking Labour's reckless decisions. In a recent Prime Minister's questions, Badenoch pulled no punches, confronting Starmer directly and accusing him of negligent leadership. Here's a short but fiery clip from their exchange.
At the CBI conference on Monday, the Chancellor said, and I quote, "I'm clear, I'm not coming back with more borrowing or more taxes. I know that telling the truth to this House is important to the Prime Minister. So will he repeat his Chancellor's pledge now?"
Mr. Speaker, we set out our position at the budget that was just set out. We're fixing the foundations. We're dealing with the £22 billion black hole that they left. I'm not going to write the next 5 years of budgets here at this dispatch box. But, Mr. Speaker, we said we wouldn't hit the pay slips of working people. We passed the budget, we invest in the future, and we kept that promise.
Mr. Speaker, he's not fixing any foundations, he's making everything worse. The whole House would have heard him refuse to repeat the Chancellor's pledge, a pledge as worthless as the manifesto promises that he's talking about. If he is fixing foundations, why is it that the PMI index shows that business confidence has crashed since the budget?
Mr. Speaker, we're fixing the foundation. We've got record investment into this country. 2 weeks ago, she stood there and said that she wanted all the investment, all the benefits of the budget, but she didn't know how she was going to pay for it. I noticed that, having come here criticising the national insurance rises over and over again, on Monday she admitted that she wouldn't reverse the position that we set out. Meanwhile, her science minister was saying he was going energetically to do the opposite. They really haven't got a clue what they're doing.
Mr. Speaker, if he wants to know what Conservatives would do, he should resign and find out. Until then, Mr. Speaker, I'm the one asking the questions. There's a petition out there, 2 million people asking him to go. Yeah. He's the one who doesn't know. He's the one who doesn't know how things work. It is not government that creates growth, Mr. Speaker. It is business.
Even long-standing Labour strongholds have witnessed constituents rushing to sign the petition, a clear indication of the deepening loss of trust. Starmer's attempt to dismiss the petition as merely the work of past opposition voters has only intensified the criticism. His appearance on ITV's This Morning, where he described his government's choices as tough but fair, came across as dismissive and further alienated those already disillusioned with Labour's perceived failures.
I'm not surprised, quite frankly, that as we're doing the tough stuff, there are plenty of people who say, well, I'm impacted, I don't like it. But we've got to make the sort of big calls on the NHS and on schools that are really important for the here and now and for the future. So, in a sense, if we were in the business of giving away money and not impacting anyone, and our ratings dropped, I'd be worried. But we're doing the tough stuff at the moment.
Starmer's reaction only underscored how disconnected his government is from genuine public concerns. The petition gathered momentum after endorsements from high-profile names like Elon Musk and Michael Caine, but its origins are far more modest. Pub landlord Michael Westwood started the movement, accusing Labour of breaking its promises and failing to deliver meaningful change. He spoke about it live on TV.
Why should we sit back and take it? Why should we sit back and be lied to? So, see how we can change it, basically. You've got to be realistic, it's not going to happen. What man would sit there and debate his own job? I know I wouldn't like to do it myself. But at the same time, if you've lied to get into power, why shouldn't you be held responsible? Why shouldn't you be held to account?
What began as a simple protest has now become a seismic political statement. Millions of disillusioned citizens are demanding change, and the pressure is intensifying. The upcoming January debate could mark a turning point for Starmer. With public anger boiling over and opposition parties gaining traction, the Prime Minister's position is crumbling. Calls for a fresh election are growing louder, leaving Starmer's political future hanging by a thread. This debate is no longer just about a petition but a reflection of the wider frustration with the political status quo. Whether it sparks real change or simply serves as a wake-up call for Labour, it clearly demonstrates the power of public pressure in holding governments to account. With the Conservatives regrouping, Reform UK rising, and Labour under siege, British politics is entering a period of heightened uncertainty and potential transformation. The question now isn't if change is coming, but when. In the meantime, Keir Starmer continues to make questionable choices. The British Prime Minister appears to be aligning more closely with Chinese President Xi Jinping than with the newly elected US President, Donald Trump. At the G20 summit in Rio, he met with Xi and pressed for stable, respectful, and predictable relations, hoping to boost trade and stimulate growth. But this stands in sharp contrast as the US, under Trump, prepares to reignite a trade war with China. His incoming administration, stacked with China hawks like Marco Rubio, is gearing up for a confrontation over Taiwan and human rights. Starmer, by contrast, is opting for a softer approach, one centered on dialogue. This starkly diverges from America's hardline, and critics warn it risks making Britain appear weak, especially as China is officially designated the UK's greatest security threat. Starmer's stance echoes Richard Nixon's historic 1972 visit to Beijing, which reshaped US-China relations during the Cold War. But unlike Nixon, who played a strategic China card, Starmer's hand looks far weaker. Instead of focusing on grand geopolitics, his priority lies with Britain's economy and securing international partnerships as global uncertainty grows. For Xi Jinping, this is welcome news. Grappling with economic troubles and a battered global image, he's on a charm offensive, courting leaders like Starmer, Emmanuel Macron, and Australia's Anthony Albanese. If Trump's aggressive, isolationist policies drive allies away, China could step in to fill the gap, and President Xi knows it. Starmer's gamble is to prioritize trade and cooperation on global issues like climate change. But this strategy could easily backfire, especially given the UK's history of cyber threats and espionage linked to Beijing. At the same time, Trump's hardline stance risks pushing America's partners closer to China, potentially giving Xi an advantage in the race for global influence. Depending on how events unfold, Starmer's choice may be remembered as either a shrewd calculation or a dangerous blunder. What do you think of his approach? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and give this video a like if you found it helpful. If you want to stay informed about the issues shaping Britain's future, this channel is for you. In every video, we break down the most important debates that affect the country. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date. See you in the next one.